Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. Chairman Gianforte, it's a pleasure to be back with my colleagues on the Natural Resources Committee. Today I'd like to speak about the Federal Columbia River Power System and the Bonneville Power Administration. The 2014 biological opinion is the operating plan that manages that system, and it's a product of a tireless collaborative effort conducted by scientists and engineers at our federal agencies, the 4 affected states, local and regional stakeholders and experts, as well as the sovereign Northwest Indian tribes. But unfortunately, as you've heard today, a judge has decided to disregard science and literally throw out the 2014 biological opinion. Not only that, but this judge has decided that, in my humble opinion, he knows how to better operate our federal hydropower system than the scientists and the engineering experts at our federal agencies, and has forced additional spill at 8 of our lower Snake and Columbia River dams, which began just this week on April 3rd. So I've got a number of questions I'd like to ask Administrator Mainzer, and if you could indulge me in order to get through in our short amount of time with as brief of a yes or no answer as possible, I would certainly appreciate that. Will BPA, or Bonneville Power Administration's costs and rates pressure likely increase due to this forced spill order?
Yes.
Thank you. And Mr. Administrator, isn't it true that BPA estimates those costs could be as high as an additional $40 million to our ratepayers?
That's correct, yes.
Also, Mr. Administrator, isn't it also true that BPA's average fish and wildlife programming already costs ratepayers $727 million every year, and the total spent so far on fish and wildlife programming through at least 2015 exceeded $15 billion?
That's correct.
Thank you. And Mr. Administrator, due to that incredible amount of investment in our fish survival efforts, isn't it also true that we are now seeing a 92 to 96% average juvenile dam passage survival rate at the 4 lower Snake River dams?
That's correct.
Thank you. Will BPA likely have to make cuts to fish and wildlife programming, such as habitat improvement activities, due to the lost revenue stemming from this forced spill order?
Unfortunately, that is true.
Isn't it also true that there are several potential adverse biological consequences of forced spill and could in fact harm the very fish species the biological opinion was developed to protect?
Certainly, that's a perspective that's been, I think, clearly articulated by our federal scientists, yes.
Thank you. And finally, Mr. Administrator, and I really do appreciate your indulgence in the short answers, could this forced spill order damage the commercial viability of the Bonneville Power Administration?
Yes, it could, and it's certainly got a lot of other factors influencing, so it's important to consideration, yes.
Thank you, thank you. I believe it's because of this judge's reckless anti-science decision. I've joined my bipartisan colleagues from the Pacific Northwest, Representatives McMorris Rogers, Herrera Butler, Walden, and Schrader, to introduce legislation to uphold the 2014 BIOP, and I'm both proud and very grateful to the full Committee of Natural Resources for passing this legislation out of committee just yesterday on a bipartisan basis. H.R. 3144 would support the ongoing efforts to recover our salmon returns and continue record survival rates while also supporting the Federal Columbia River Power System and the benefits it brings to our region through the clean, renewable, and affordable energy it provides. So just to close, for the record, and again, I appreciate your brevity, Administrator Mainzer and Dr. Petty, would signing into law H.R. 3144 assist your respective entities with a successful management of the Federal Columbia River Power System?
Congressman, we've already testified that we do support and look forward to working with you on that bill.
Thank you.
We also, having been so deeply vested in the work on the river for so many years, we are also certainly intrigued and would like to further explore the concept with you, yes.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Mr. Chairman, I appreciate your allowing me to sit in on the committee again, and thank you for so much attention to this very, very important issue. And I've got several dozen letters of support from lots of different interest groups that I'll submit for the record.
Without objection, and you're always welcome.
Thank you.
So